Let's go. Welcome, good people. Welcome to episode 6 of the Clicks to Clients podcast. And we're going to get started. So today's episode is entitled How to Dominate Your Market in Your Own Backyard. When you're a local business, the most important thing that you can do is to compete with your local businesses in a certain radius. Normally it's somewhere between a 10 to 30 mile radius. Now, in order to do that, you have to understand how to compete locally. Right now, there's likely a contractor or small business owner in your city who does great work, has fair pricing, has reliable team members. But when someone searches for the services that they offer, they often are not amongst the first results. Sometimes they bury down on page 4 or page 5, and this is just not a way to succeed. They don't have a Google map pack. So they're basically invisible online, although they do really great work once someone does discover them. But right next to them, you have a competitor who is not as good. Pricing is not as competitive. They have a less experienced team, but they are getting the phone calls or the office or site visits because they're able to be found. There is not a lot of talent that goes into filling that gap. It just goes into work. That's not a reputation gap or a talent gap. It's a local SEO gap, and it's completely fixable. Of course, you can hire an agency like mine in order to close that gap, or you can do it yourself. And this is Clicks to Clients, where we teach you how to do it yourself. So the strategy in making sure your business shows up when people search for it, as far as what you offer in your geographic area, your city, think your neighborhood, your service radius, is the difference between being the best kept secret in town and being the first name that everyone calls. So today I'm breaking down exactly how local SEO works, what makes businesses rank in local search, and also the specific moves you need to make in order to own your own local market. And as always, if you comment free PDF in your email address or inbox me, I'll send you a free PDF with a 90-day execution plan that you can implement to win in SEO in your local search on your own. So something important to note, it doesn't matter if you only service one zip code or one city. Sometimes I talk to potential clients and they feel like they're too small. They're too low on the totem pole to really matter. But this episode is showing you how local businesses can compete, not only against other local businesses, but oftentimes against national brands who are spread across multiple marketplaces. So again, you are watching Clicks to Clients. This is a show where we break down digital marketing in real terms, trying to avoid jargon as much as possible. To reintroduce myself, my name is Clinton Jiggett. I am the founder of Best Fit Digital. We are a digital marketing boutique agency located right here in Baltimore, Maryland. So basically, I want to get into it. So I'm going to change my screen here. And I want to talk to you about local SEO. And how you can own your market against your competitors. First of all, local SEO versus regular SEO, there's some important differences to recognize here. In the last episode, we talked about SEO in a much more broader perspective, but today we're focused on local SEO and how that affects your business every day. So keep those 3 pillars that we discussed last episode in your mind, but we're going to focus a little bit differently today. Because for most small service-based businesses or local businesses, local SEO is where the real money is made. Regular SEO is about ranking nationally or globally for a topic. If you're trying to get your article about HVAC tips to rank for readers across the country, that is general SEO. But if you are an HVAC company in Baltimore, Maryland, or Annapolis, Maryland, or Austin, Texas, and you want to make sure that when someone in those cities searches for HVAC repair, that you show up, that is local SEO. Completely different strategy. As a reminder, SEO stands for search engine optimization. It's basically how you are found via search when they're not actually looking for you. That's an important distinction. If you're ABC company, we might not know that ABC company exists, but I know I need someone to paint my walls. So when I search for painters, I want ABC company to show up in those search results. The competition for local searches is dramatically lower than national searches. So you are competing with every HVAC company in your local city versus every HVAC company in America. You are competing with law firms in your city versus law firms all across America. You're focused on your service area. And the fact is that most of your competitors are not doing the local SEO well, which means this is one of the most accessible wins in all your digital marketing. So two places that you need to show up when someone does a local search. There are two primary places that you need to show up and where your business needs to appear. The first is what's referred to as the MAP pack, M-A-P pack. The first three local search results that appear in the map above the organic listings that Google automatically provides, that is the MAP pack. Think about yourself as a customer. How often do you select a service or venue that shows up in those first results? So in the last episode, we covered how to optimize your Google business profile to get into the MAP pack. Well, actually, that was during episode 4. But if you haven't watched that one yet, I definitely say put a pin in this and watch that one. But the second is your organic results below the MAP pack. These are the regular website listings. Ideally, you want to show up in both. A business that appears in the MAP pack and has a strong organic listing is occupying 2 positions on the first page. And again, think about the way you search. You normally begin and stop on the first page. When you have those 2 positions, it's a massive competitive advantage, and it's absolutely achievable for local businesses. What drives local rankings for Google uses 3 primary factors to determine the local search rankings. First of all, you have relevance. That's how well does your business match what someone searched for. So think, I'm searching for shoe repair. Does Google know that you do shoe repair, or is your business called Exotic Souls? And that's a pretty cool name. I just thought of off the top of my head. And there you talk about everything but shoe repair on that first page. Google might not know what you do. Next, though, after that is prominence. So how well known and trusted is your business based on reviews and links and mentions across the web? So social proof. You can't control the distance, but distance is the next factor. But you do have significant control over relevance and prominence. So those are the things that I really try to focus on when I'm building a local SEO strategy for my clients. The local SEO playbook that moves the needle to help clients and do-it-yourselfers as it relates to local search is really focused around building a holistic strategy. When I, as an agency, build a local SEO strategy for a service-based business, for example, there are 6 moves that I primarily focus on as an agency. The first of those moves, or first of all, the purpose of those moves is to outrank the majority of your local competitors. It's important that you understand that the expectation of being number 1 in every search or being first on all the primary keywords that you're focused on is not realistic. But you can compete and be in the top 10 and top 5 on several keywords at the exact same time. So these 6 strategies or moves, as I call them internally, that I focus on, starts with your Google business profile, which of course we've talked about in multiple episodes. Though we've already covered this in depth, I need you to say it again or understand it again, that the foundation of everything starts with the Google business profile, which again is free. In my professional opinion, in my 9 years of doing this, it's the most important local SEO asset that you have. Complete every field, upload photos consistently, which means don't set it up and forget it. You want to upload photos consistently, whether that's bi-weekly or monthly, ideally weekly. You want to post weekly, so weekly updates, specials, images, pictures. Respond to every review that you get within 48 hours, and make sure you're asking customers who are happy for reviews. The more reviews, the better. But if your GBP or Google business profile is not fully dialed in, fully optimized, then you're already hamstringing yourself to be able to build the long-term success from local SEO. But if you do those, then a lot of what we talk about today is going to help you to move the needle. Move two is to build location-specific pages on your website. So if you're located in Austin, Texas, but there are 10 cities that surround Austin, Texas, that sometimes customers may come from, you want to create a separate page on your site dedicated to that target audience. Don't think that you're oversaturating or doing too much when it comes to building those different landing pages. A website that has several multiple page cities or neighborhood dedicated pages on your website are already ahead of the curve as it relates to local SEO. It's important to know that Google will devalue you if you are using redundant information. So don't make them generic pages with just a city name swapped in, where you're just cut and pasting the city, but it's the exact same content. It's a bit tedious as you expand to different locations and want to cover different cities, but it's absolutely critical that you do not do the lazy route of just copy and paste. You want to make it a unique landing page for each respective city or neighborhood or whatever sort of landing page that you're focused around. And then you want to specifically talk about the services in that area. You want to mention the local landmarks or communities, include customer testimonials from the location. This is all generally useful to feed the Google gods who we want to make happy, and we want Google to know how to index us. If I were to give you an example, I would say, if I'm a local plumber here in Baltimore. For those that are not in the Baltimore area, you may not be responsible for these cities, but let's say I'm in Baltimore, but I also service Annapolis, Maryland, and Columbia, Maryland, and Glen Burnie, Maryland. Then I should have 4 separate location pages, each one targeting the specific searches someone in that city would make. This is one of the most powerful and also most overlooked, because it's tedious, local SEO tactics for local service-based businesses with a multi-city radius. Now, move 3 is to create content. Now, with the evolution of AI, it's become incredibly easy to create content. Don't get caught being lazy when it comes to creating content by leveraging AI as the end-all be-all. And what I mean by that is, if you're going to use AI to help you create content, that's great. But don't just trust AI to do it right, to understand what it's doing. What I'm saying, in other words, is you have to proofread. But when it comes to building that on-page SEO, you want to write content around what your internal experiences are. So what types of questions are customers asking? Write a blog answering that question. Don't just focus on surface level content, like why we're the best sock manufacturer, or why we sell the best tacos, or why we are the best plumbers. You want to talk about content that is relevant to your clients, and you have to be willing to give away some free jewels. This podcast, for example, I'm giving away free information that I monetize to sell to my clients, but there's value in helping small businesses who are not in the place right now to bring on an agency and retainer, but they still want to compete online. So you have to be willing to give away some free jewels. If you're a plumber, again, how to prevent freezing pipes in the winter. Not just if you're an attorney, what to look for in a personal injury attorney, but perhaps what are the best attributes of a personal injury attorney. You just want to be a little bit more depth. You just want to peel the onion back a little bit as you create this local on-page content. I professionally recommend that if you don't have a current blog strategy, that for the first 1 to 3 months, you write a blog a week. After that, a blog every 2 weeks is going to be perfectly fine. But you need to build that consistency. You don't know when Google's going to crawl your site next, though you can technically, we'll jump into that later, try to prompt Google to do a crawl or manually. But ultimately, you want to create that presence and that footprint and that consistency as a foundation before you build out from there. These things are going to be really relevant signals to Google that tells them not only are you an authority on the topic that you're generally talking about, but specifically in your geographic market, you are an authoritative resource. Over time, that library of locally relevant content builds, I would say, like a moat around your rankings that competitors cannot easily cross. It's really important that you understand that SEO, as I've mentioned in previous episodes, compounds. So everything I'm telling you to do has to be done with a consistency. So as a business owner who's doing it themselves, mark up some time on your calendar. You have to set aside an hour to 3 per week to dedicate to your digital presence, or you're just leaving money on the table and you're giving it away to your local competitors. Move 4 is build local citations and backlinks. A citation is any online mention of your business name, address, and phone number. There are so many free directories that you can add your business to. But if you think of your Chamber of Commerce, your local news, all those are citations. And something that I mentioned in the previous episode is NAP. You want to make sure your name, your address, and phone number are exactly the same across the board. That is really important to Google's eyes as they confirm that your business is legitimate, authoritative, established, and can be trusted for them to share with their community. Beyond the citations, you want to pursue what are called local backlinks specifically. So sponsor a local event where they might get a link from their website back to yours. Partner with complementary businesses that are aligned in your vertical. So if you sell socks, perhaps you partner with a shoe brand. If you're a plumber, perhaps you partner with a handyman. And you guys basically share content back and forth between your sites. That's called a backlink. Of course, you want to try to reach out to local publications and try to get featured. Reach out to local bloggers or journalists. With the adaptation of SEO for social media, you can reach out to influencers. But each local backlink tells Google that your business is an important part of your local ecosystem. Now, move 5 is get consistent reviews across multiple platforms. Google, of course, is going to be the mother of reviews. You want to reach out to every one of your happy customers and ask them to get a review. And don't just ask them one time. Set up some sort of cadence, once every 3 weeks, once every 2 weeks, once every month, asking them for a review. And if your business is cited in multiple places, so if you're on Yelp or Facebook or Houzz or any of these other third-party tools, you want to ask for reviews there too, especially in industry-specific platforms, because this will also help contribute to your overall prominence and credibility. More reviews on more platforms ultimately means more trust signals across the web. If you build this simple system for collecting reviews, where you send out some sort of email campaign, a lot of my clients, we built out a strategy where immediately after they deliver the service, they get a text message, and then 3 days later they get an email. Then 10 days later, they get another email. Then 14 days later, they get another text. And then on day 30, they get another email. We are really trying to ask them and compel them to leave a review. You want to send a direct link to whichever platform you're hoping they leave you a review for. And don't hesitate to ask them if they can leave a review in multiple places. Because if they found you on a third-party site like Angie, you can ask them for a Google review and an Angie review. But the easier you make it for them, something simple they can tap on their mobile or in their email, the more likely they are to leave you that review. And reviews can cause a drastic upswing in how you search, how you're found online. Next is you want to optimize for near me searches. Everyone's done this before. Best Thai food near me, auto repair near me, insert service or product here near me. Almost everyone has done this type of search on Google. So don't act like your customers aren't doing the same thing. When it comes to these types of searches, it's really important that you understand that Google is feeding this information and ranking the near me searches that you need to make. based on the holistic approach. So these other 5 stages that I shared with you. But you have to make sure that it's absolutely clear on your website what your location is, who you service, and who you are. Your address needs to be on your website footer on every single page. Your homepage needs to mention the cities you serve. Your Google business profile needs to be fully verified. Fill out everything. Near me searches are high intent and they convert at an extremely high rate. Just think about it. When someone's searching for something near me, they're likely looking to go to that venue or reach out to that venue almost immediately. These are called bottom of the funnel searchers. Make sure you are showing up for them by completing the other stages. Now, once you set up all these things, it's important that you know how to know if it's working. You need analytics, you need data. One of in my experience at least, one of the biggest frustrations people have with SEO is not knowing whether it's working. So I want to give you some specific things you can do to track so you always know where you stand. The first place to track, where we always go, Google Business Profile. So there's an Insights tab on your Google Business Profile that is part of your dashboard. It tells you exactly how many people searched for your business. It shows you how many people viewed your profile, how many people called you, how many people asked for directions, and it breaks it all down by time period. So this is the first place you can start. These numbers show up every single month, and if they are going up, your local SEO is working. If they are flat or going down, something may need to be adjusted. And I say may because we also understand there are seasonal indicators for certain industries. So if you're a landscaping company, perhaps you see the analytics go down in the winter months because not a lot of people are getting that grass cut in the winter months. So it makes sense. It might not mean your strategy isn't working. But outside of that scope, you need to review what you're doing or what you might have missed and scale down from there. When it comes to option 2 is your Google Search Console, which again, we covered in a previous episode, is free to set up. But your Google Search Console will show you which search queries are bringing people to your website, your average position in search results for those queries. It'll show you how many clicks you are getting. And over time, you want to see the average position in improving for these keywords in these queries. Your click count, you want to see increasing. If you haven't set up your Google your Google console, please go do that today. Again, it is free, and it is a really clear window into how Google sees your website. And then third is keyword ranking. So pick your 10 most important local keywords, which could be your service plus your city in different combinations. But you want to figure out what these top 10 are. And it is somewhat of a guessing game. There are some low cost or free services like Uber Suggest or SEMrush that you can use to help you do deeper research into your keywords. But sometimes because you're hands-on with your business, you're the founder, you can come up with what you think these keywords are. Just make sure you're looking at it from the perspective of the business customer, not the business owner. But you can use these tools and check where you rank for each one of these keywords month over month. And again, you can do this by manually searching. You likely don't have to do it in incognito mode inside your window. But you want to use this information to understand how your keywords are performing. Again, Google Search Console, even within it, has a free tool that you can use to show you your keyword data and where you can search for keywords to focus on. When you think of what comes next, it's leads and calls. So this is self-explanatory, but if you got 10 calls last month and this month you got 20, that's a good result. Track how many phone calls, how many lead contact form submissions you receive, where they say they found you. That's a really helpful thing to add to your contact form. And when a new client says they found you on Google, that is a clear example of your local SEO working. Over time, you should see a direct correlation between your SEO improvements and your lead volume. And if you are getting more traffic, but not more leads, which does happen, that is a conversion problem. So now people are landing on your page, on your website or your landing page, and the information is not compelling enough that makes them want to stay and request more information. So when you're getting more traffic, which just happens sometimes, it's ultimately an SEO problem. It's something that you're not doing that is converting those visitors into potential leads. In no way am I saying you should expect 100% of visitors to convert to leads, but if you got 5,000 more visitors last month, but only one more lead, something amiss. And you should start with the landing page that they're on and see, is it clear? Is the important information in the call to action, CTA, above the fold? Above the fold means before anyone scrolls, can they understand what you do and who you do it for? Ultimately, if you implement all of these steps, you are going to be successful in building your site. You're going to be successful in driving traffic. You're going to be successful in converting people into leads, and you're going to be successful in building overall success. Now, when you think about the ultimate goal here, the ultimate goal here is to scale and grow and do it yourself. So I just want to speak to you a bit about my own experience as a business owner here in Baltimore. I built Best Fit Digital here 9 years ago now. I was a one-man show for quite some time. And one of the things that I'm most proud of is that we have helped local businesses in this region compete with companies that have 10 times their budget because we got their digital presence right. I have seen local plumbing and HVAC and electrical clients that were barely surviving start getting more calls than they could handle, where they almost want to ask me to turn off the spigot, but it's compounded. We're not going to turn off the spigot. Not because they spent more money, but because they finally showed up where their customers were already looking, which is what is important. That is what SEO is. It's the ability to show up where customers are already looking. I've seen law firms triple their consultation requests in 6 months. I've built local SEO strategies for a number of great local businesses, and we've done it the right way. None of those businesses had an unlimited budget. None of them had a marketing department. They had a great service, a commitment to do the work, and a plan to follow. And that is it. Your city is full of people right now who need exactly what you offer. They are searching for it. And the only question is, will you show up in the search when they go to look for it? Can they find you? Local SEO is about you being found before your competitor. Local SEO is how you make sure they find you every single time. Go own your own backyard. Nobody deserves that territory more than you do. Tell yourself that and believe that. Now, appreciate you for joining this episode, episode 6 of Clicks to Clients. Again, local SEO is one of the highest leverage investments you can make in your business. But further, right now, you just got some insight on how to use it yourself, the full playbook. Again, if you comment free PDF in your email address, I'll send you a 90-day plan that you can execute. I certainly appreciate it if you could drop a comment, subscribe, like, share. And if you're a business owner who knows you want to scale and grow, and whether you've been burned by bad digital agency or you're ready to partner with an agency that is competent in helping local businesses grow, you can certainly feel free to check us out at bestfitdigital.co. You can feel free to email me directly. That's clinton@bestfitdigital.co. But ultimately, my goal and my hope is to see more local businesses grow, scale, and accomplish their goals. Feel free again to book a free strategy call. Episode 7 drops next Wednesday, and we'll be talking about content marketing. So we'll be talking about how blogs, videos, and posts drive real traffic to your business and how to create this content consistent without burning out. So it'll be practical, it'll be real, and hopefully it's going to change how you think about creating content. So see you next Wednesday. Keep building. And as always, make it a great day on purpose.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the show, hit subscribe and stay tuned for more. We'll see you next time.